I was photographing nature when someone ran up to me. We've got to run now. I lower my camera to stare at the man weirdly. Why? I asked in confusion. The other man seemed almost hysterical. We have to run, now, please. The other man pleaded again as tears of absolute fear ran down his face. I looked over at him. Are you hurt? No, he yelled at me. I stare at him before the man starts running off. You're dead! I'm not going to wind up dead. I stare at the man's back as he runs off in confusion. What was he running from? Why did he think I'd wind up dead? I shrugged it off because today was nothing but beautiful, except for that strange encounter. I almost forgot about it as I continued shooting my shots. The way the sun glinted off of the water, the birds taking off from the ground, the gentle breeze rustling through the pine trees, catching many photos of leaves falling gently from the trees. The quietness of the forest made it seem even magical. I raised my camera up into another tree before stopping. A new smell entered my nostrils and filled the area. I lowered my camera and searched my mind for the connection. It wasn't a wild cat. They never smelled like that, at least not in these words. The smell was coming from upwind, and that's when it connected. A bear. If it was upwind, I was being hunted. I turned around slowly in a circle, and the man's words echoed in my mind. The man didn't know it was a bear, and apparently led the creature directly towards me. It was a few months before winter, so the bear must be trying to gain the fat they needed before hibernation. Keeping calm, I pulled out my phone only to see I had no cell service. Great, I muttered. The smell continued getting stronger and stronger. I pulled out a can of pepper spray and kept as calm as I could. My mind remembered they didn't like loud sounds, too. I started singing loudly and off tune to the song, Mockingbird. It was one of the songs I knew by heart. Then I heard the roar and turned around. An adult grizzly bear standing on his hind legs. Squinting my eyes, I note a type of scar on the bear's right front leg. Jason? I question, looking at the bear. The bear goes on all fours, tilting its massive head at me. I slowly take the camera off of my neck and toss it on the ground. My eyes never leave the bear who I believed was Jason. A grizzly bear I had secretly healed after being caught in a trap on its front right leg. Jason, I repeat slowly, standing up very tall and not submissive looking. Jason slowly moves towards me, sniffing my scent intensely. I yanked my jacket off and tossed it towards Jason. He jumps on the jacket, smelling it deeply before dropping. He dropped his body on the jacket, playing with it for a minute before giving a snort. I smile slightly. Glad to see you survived. The bear gave a little roar as it continued to play with my jacket. There was a crunch that had me freezing. Within seconds, I ran in front of Jason and suddenly felt a burn in my leg. Jason roared before running off, and I finally let out a whimper. Why the frick did you do that? A hunter roared, coming to me. Why were you trying to shoot that bear? I roared right back in anger. It was about to kill you and my friend. The hunter yelled in my face as I took off my belt and wrapped it around my leg. Your friend was running from it as prey would, dumb butt, I groaned. The hunter paused for a second before grumbling to himself about dumb hunters. Then what the heck? The hunter trailed off, noting my jacket laying on the ground, where Jason had been playing with it. The hunter looks at me with something akin to disgust. You saved that filthy creature's life before this, haven't you? I don't respond because I would not be getting Jason in trouble by creating a manhunt for him. I glare at the hunter. I'll find my way to a hospital myself. Thanks for the gunshot wound, I grumbled as I hobbled to my jacket and camera. I picked both of them up. You are the reason for bear attacks, the hunter snarled in anger at me. You're the reason they are 100% going to be on the endangered species list, I snarled right back. The hunter scoffed at me. Go to the fire when you die. At least I know I'll meet you there. I filed a report with the police at the hospital. The hunter hadn't realized he had his name tag on. His hunting privileges were revoked for not being aware of other people. Once healed, the forest was the same as Jason stalked me each time I ventured in to make sure I wouldn't be hurt in his territory ever again.